Heterosexual, that's biology. Straightness, that's a performance.
I'm too high for this one.
Nah.
I'm saying it like this.
Get some water.
Straightness and whiteness, they're sisters. They're constructs. It's a label for you to...
Hold on. I gotta just take 2 seconds. There's so many words. He said heterosexuality is biology. Straightness is a what?
It's performance.
It's a performance. Okay.
So it's a label for you to perform. Also, when you think about certain boys that are raised, they're not raised how to be decent human beings. They're raised how not to be like girls. They're taught to hate anything that's feminine, anything that's soft, and that, you know, anyone that expresses emotion that is soft, and also that rage and anger are also emotions. So it's a lot of a lot of conditioning that has happened that hasn't allowed, especially us as black men, to just be human beings. You have to perform. Your value is contingent upon what you do versus who you are. What somebody else does with their private parts ain't stressing you out.
Right.
And you're not trying to perform. That's a heterosexual man. But when you are straight, it's rah rah. I hate women. Ugh. Homies over hoes.
Yeah.
Some men are so straight that they go to prison.
Boys being boys.
What I've enjoyed is seeing my homies bop their heads and groove to me singing about fucking niggas.
I thought I was. I don't know if I'm bobbing my head and grooving to that, but is it weird that I don't want to listen to some dude talk about how he wants to bang another dude?
It's not
if
weird.
If that's a performance, okay, I guess I'm performing. I just don't care.
No, it's not weird. There's some people that would want to listen to that and would bob their head to it, but like, I can't do it because of people. I'm not saying, it's not about if you don't want to listen to it, it's not necessarily performative, but there's a bunch of people out there that feel the need to perform that they don't want to do it even if they do. You understand what I'm saying? That's more in that realm.
I think when you get past the whole labels of straightness and heterosexuality, I think the main idea is that men sometimes feel the need to overcompensate to prove their sense of masculinity. Which I think is what he's getting at. And they go so far sometimes in that idea of projecting this idea of masculinity that they sometimes end up in prison or in really bad situations, and that, accepting any aspects of femininity is seen as bad, whether it be painting your fingernails or moving your hands a specific way or dancing. Everyone's got their different lines in relative places, but I don't think, if you get away from all those labels or whatever he's saying, I think it's makes perfect sense.
What I mean by the performance about things, you know what I mean? One time I was in a dance hall party, right? And then you have one man sitting on the side, right? He's right there. And there's actually a live music going on. And dude is singing his heart out, right? Yeah. Cover band and everything and stuff. He's singing all the greatest hits and everything and stuff. And this guy's me mugging. Everybody's swaying. And he's looking at me dance. I'm like, yo, what's up with you? Bad man no dance. Me not going for dance. No man gonna make no man dance. So because the man was singing and he's another man, he's like, another man's not gonna make me dance. I'm not gonna dance. That's a performance. It doesn't prove that you're gearing up, but you're performing right now. You're like, yeah, I gotta show these I gotta show these. The minute you can replace your sentence with, I gotta show these, it's not a show. It's not show and tell. You're making a spectacle of yourself that people can't know, Bad man no wear square front shoes and tight pants. Why? What them people going to say? And I'm saying that in an accent because a lot of my Jamaican people, it's a performance when you're saying that because you're thinking about the other people then looking at you, right? The pause game is that. Pause, man. That was weird. Nah, bro, it's just you acting weird about that shit. You know what I mean? So that I feel like it is like heterosexual. What he's talking about is like whether you feel attracted by guys or girls. It is biology. That's biology. Biology. That's old school. But then the straight, I'm straight. Straight, no, I don't do none of that. That's not, it doesn't change what the biology says about you or how you feel about your biology. It doesn't feel how you feel about being attracted about people. The straightness you show to other people. The heterosexual is what happens in your in your bedroom. There's a bunch of people. I'm straight. I'm hard. I'm that. Down low, motherfuckers. So that means it's your performance. You're creating a performance for the other people them to see. That's what you're doing. I'm straight. I don't do none of that. Why? Why? Because you're afraid of the perception of other people are going to look upon you, so you're performing. Same thing as whiteness. When you said, like, when they're sisters, the whiteness is a construct. How many people that I know that are white, but because they hang around us, it's like the codes that they have are different, and they're not emulating something. I know some people that were adopted by black families, so there are other people around them was black. The codes that they have, the cultural about it is black. So it's like, would you say white is just some kind of performance? The same thing when they apply it to black people. Oh, you talk white right now. No, it's because your depiction of black is just a small thing that is being performed. That person, the way that person looks like, you associate that with blackness, but it's not. It's just a cultural thing that makes him appear a certain way that you deem being black. But the whiteness, which you deem white, it depends of cultural. I've seen some people in Louisiana because they hang around Creoles or they white presenting, but you're gonna be like, yo, that person's acting black. That's because what is their environment is that.
I think that people growing up are all trying to find a place to belong to. They're trying to find who they are. Some people find who they are in different labels, whether it be, different identities, whether it be where you're from, what city you live in, whatever fucking neighborhood you're from, whatever nationality your parents were born into. I guess you can call them all performances. If you're raised by two Italian parents and you speak a specific type of way and you overcompensate to the point where I guess you could call that a performance if you want to. You can call people who try to be hyper feminine a performance too. You can call all performances, but I think some people just adhere to a set of customs and a set of norms that exist around a concept. So let's say if I'm Ethiopian, there's probably a certain set of traditions, cultural aspects that I'm going to be really tied to that are going to be very normal for everyone else. And maybe everyone's just performing this set within the boundaries of like what's socially acceptable. And maybe he's one of those people who gets to be a real individual or he gets to borrow from so much. I don't think either's wrong. I don't think either one is a big issue. I think ideally you just give people a choice. You give people space to not feel shame for being different if they want to, and for people who adhere to these norms to feel fine. But I do think like labeling it a performance to me is it has like a negative connotation. The whole thing of performative is a negative connotation. The whole idea of performance is negative in that you're fake or something like that. I don't think it's always necessarily that. I think sometimes you have these ideas that are pretty strong and very rigid, and you adhere to those things. And they define a lot of your habits and your day-to-day stuff. I wouldn't label that a performance personally. And I know this gets done a lot with males and straightness. You know what I'm saying? This kind of rhetoric. Because I could sit there and say gay dudes are very performative. Mm-hmm. It's a performance. Yeah. But we just don't have that conversation. We don't sit here and say women are having a performance. That's not like a talking point. So that's why when I see this always labeled around dudes and all this other stuff and straightness, I'm like, you can, I guess, but I do notice the asymmetry in how this conversation happens. And I also do notice that it is generally reserved for this one group in this one way. And that's why I don't take it neutrally, because I don't think they use it neutrally, and I don't think the term itself is neutral. So if they're meaning it in a negative way, I don't necessarily adhere to it.
I can understand what you're saying. Yeah, I think it applies to other people being performative. It's not just one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let me ask you. If you are an immigrant from, let's say, Nigeria, you come to North America or maybe the UK, and you hold on very strong to those customs. You feel a pressure to be Nigerian. I would argue you're also performing by this definition. And you're being Haitians. How many Haitians are very performative?
100%. 100%. I'm super Haitian. They have to prove. Yes, I agree with you. Yep. And it's just that, and what makes it as a reality like that is because of the negative connotation about performance. And I also agree with that. I'm like, yeah, there is a negative connotation with performance. It sounds fake and stuff. It's like when Cardi B came up with that song, little bitch, y'all motherfuckers wanted to sing that, but you couldn't because you're not one of them girls. And then what happened? You're like, all right, man, you know what? To complete that point, I have to show you this wonderful.
From our era. So I expect something different from it. You see what I'm saying? Right. So it's... I don't like him and I don't like the other dude, whatever his name is. So you just threw me off. You just took a cucumber to the face like that. I said, we talking about being a man, man up. You just... You this ain't a man? You can't dice it? Do I have to? See, and you ate it with the skin on. Like, that skin is what has the most protein. I can't do this.
That's funny as fuck. I won't lie though, someone's talking about how masculine they are while they're just shoving pickles down their throat. That shit funny. Okay?
It's funny. You're just gonna take that to the face? You can't dice it. Imagine we having a conversation and I'm next to you now. I'm manly. What you doing? Dicing cucumbers. I can eat it properly so you don't feel...
I'm sorry, like there is a dichotomy because I think we all have images of these things, and maybe these things are, inherited and over performative. But like the idea of some like super villain being like, "I will destroy the world," and the dude has like, you remember those ring pops?
Those what? Yes.
Can you imagine some super villain with a ring pop just be like, "You'll die soon." I don't know. That is a funny juxtaposition.
You see how I broke that pause? You can't just be out here eating bananas like that. You heard? You got it. You got it.
Why is he jerking it though?
Now watch how you eat the bananas around these niggas, you heard?
Why is he jerking the banana before he puts it in his head?
I'll say like some of it is obviously a performance, quote unquote, but some of it's also mocking the performance. Like I've watched that pod that they had, and they play the whole pods game all the time. But you can tell sometimes they just add sauce because it's fucking funny. And I think that's a good thing.
But that's what we do.
Yeah, yes, 100%. I enjoy the pods game. I think it's hilarious because it's almost like fart jokes to me. You know what I'm saying? It's really so silly to me. And because like somebody will be in the moment of like those be just talking about some shit, and they'll be like, yeah, so I just had to put him in his place and let him know he couldn't talk to me like that. And so I went hard. Hey, yo. And then you see everybody just go from serious to laughing.
But it's just funny to me that this eating a banana like this is gay, but this.
I mean, that's how you roll dice.
No, but I mean, you're jerking it in the air. You're jerking a whole banana. Pause. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bowling.
Yeah, I just a